And I was thinking about, I've been reading, Huxley, about Huxley.
Mm-hmm.
I find it really, the guy, he supposedly detested television, materialism. He was just appalled by the hedonistic society, the ignorant people that are influenced by television and this sort of thing. He took like a grandstand on those sort of issues, yet he was responsible for bringing in LSD,
yep.
the hippie movement,
mm-hmm.
the free love. He got on that. So what a contradiction. It's almost like, and then he writes this book, Brave New World, saying, look, these are all the evils that are going to come upon these evil people that are perpetrating these things and
mm-hmm.
so forth and so on. And
yeah.
and it's almost like, almost like it is, he's bashing something that he had a hand in creating.
Big time, yeah.
And then on top of it, he said, well, and then he starts encouraging eugenics. Well,
mm-hmm.
The thing, the remedy is to just, get rid of people.
Yeah, it is, yeah. But thanks for calling, though. I'll comment on that when I come back from this break. It's true, Huxley spoke with a forked tongue, of course, in his interviews on television. He, like they all do, by the way, they know they're talking to the sheeple out there, so they talk in one way, but the big international meetings they're involved in, they're far more open. They have nothing to worry about, and they can come out with the big agenda and the part that they play in it, in fact. But Huxley talks about popular music and popular culture and how disgusted he was with it. But actually he also knew that the big players who were bringing in the system of Fabian socialism, etc., they had to destroy the culture to make a new one, a global society. And so he never tacked that part on in that particular story that he gave out at first. He just said he couldn't stand popular culture. And the only one he went to see in his day was, I think, Al Jolson, and the jazz singer, which I agree with him, is pretty awful. I mean, it was awful. Anyway, that was his idea of popular culture. But see, even H.G. Wells, long before that, had talked about it, working on behalf of the Royal Institute for International Affairs, how they destroy the culture and how they would give people these sentimental and jingoistic songs and trivial songs that would sing all day and hum to themselves. It would keep them busy and occupied. And that's all happened. We've lived through right up to the present time. This cheapened kind of music they call popular culture. But these popular songs and so on are also embedded with lots of messages which the people, like Plato said long ago, the people would emulate and actually act into their own life from music. They do. They actually emulate what they see. They copy the language, the curse swears and the words and all the rest of it, and all the really foul language that's used. They bring it into their everyday speech patterns and conversations, and that's what it's intended to do. And that's how you help to destroy society. That KGB defector mentioned the same thing too, how you're contaminated, how you contaminate the culture and society. And of course, the culture industry has got a big part to play in that. It isn't all about bucks, making bucks and all that. No. It's also that the real motive is to destroy the existing culture so they can create a brand new one. And that's already happened. It's already happened. It's gone. The old culture is destroyed. Kaputski. Finished. And again, the end of marriage was part of that too. And Huxley also knew that his job at the big international meetings was promoting, along with his brother, who works at UNESCO, to promote hypersexuality. And so that children be taught to promote promiscuity, indulge in it, and they'd never bond down the road. They wouldn't want children, and they've created that society. I've gone through the writings by his brothers before from UNESCO, and some of his speeches on the air from his own books, and that's what Julian Huxley promoted. And of course, Aldous kind of backed him up in a more clever way of putting the same kind of stuff forward. So it's quite fantastic to see it all work out the way that they planned it. And these boys all belong to the global clubs that planned not just the rest of the 20th century and what kind of culture they'd have at the end of it, but the cultures they'd have into the 21st century and the stages of new indoctrinations to bring in this world society, the very stages that you're living through today. Very important people. Very, very important people. And go into Plato's The New Republic, and you'll find out he talked about these techniques as well, especially using the culture industry. From Hamish myself from Ontario, Canada, it's good night to me. Your God or your gods go with you.